Hey guys, Troy here, back with another video today. We are bringing back the buy, sell, hold videos by popular request, where you guys share with me what you've been picking up lately, and I give my opinion on whether you should buy, sell, or hold. This one's gonna be a little quicker today. I'm gonna try to get through as many as I can so I can help you guys out. So probably not gonna be too many graphs today. But if you do like some of my longer form stuff, I really appreciate if you check out the new channel for my Select Few podcast, the soccer card podcast that I started with my friend Card Hour, who's also a YouTuber. We're gonna have some short clips on there and the full length weekly podcast. So I'd really appreciate it if you go and subscribe. And if you do go and subscribe there, we're gonna be doing a giveaway. We're gonna be giving away an Alfonzo Davies optic or a Kevin De Bruyne 2016 Prism. You get to choose which one you want. All you have to do is subscribe so you see when the next episode comes out. And if you comment and like that one, you'll be automatically entered to win. I also know we have a lot of you guys who are interested in basketball cards. So if you're interested in that, go subscribe to the podcast channel I started with my friend Tristan, Hoops and Hobby Podcast. And once again, you'll be entered to win a giveaway. You get to choose between kind of the old school. We got Rudy Gay, Topps Chrome, Brandon Roy, Tracy McGrady, Kevin Garnett rookies. Or if you're into more some newer players, we got Markkanen Optic, Sekou, Ayton, and Bagley. So once again, all you have to do to be entered, go and subscribe in the description to that podcast. And once again, just comment on the next podcast episode and you'll be automatically entered to win. But all right, that's enough of that. Let's just get into the questions. So the first one is from Global Sports Card Investor. What are your thoughts on Ja now? So I've said it before, I'll say it again. Ja Morant is super talented, obviously super athletic, a really exciting player for me. But what stands out about him is his basketball IQ. I always say the players I like to invest in are people I can see being the number one player on a championship team or at least a contending team. Now, he has to improve a lot and obviously he has to get healthy before they get there, but I definitely see that potential in Ja. So as a long-term investment, I think he's a good one. His cards have come down about 20-25% since he got injured, but it's not a serious injury. It's an ankle sprain. It's not anything that's going to have, long-term damage. And I would just be surprised if we've already seen Ja Morant's peak for the entire season. I'm not saying you should be rushing in to buy Ja Morant right now. I'm not saying it's a screaming buying opportunity, but if you believe in him long-term like I do, I think now would actually be a pretty good time to buy. Next one from F Skirt Karma. So my submission for next video, Messi 2004 Mega Cracks, Barca number 35 Campio, overpriced or underpriced. So for me, these are really underpriced. I mean, yes, it's still a substantial amount of money. I believe that card even in a PSA 8 is going for about $800 right now. But given the pop, given how much of a legend Messi is, that still is really cheap to me. That particular card is a little bit more common because it actually came from Barcelona Champions celebration set. So obviously it's easier to pull a Messi when you're only getting cards from one team. But still, if you look at the pop report, relatively low on that. And I've made this point before, soccer cards are only just starting to become a thing in Europe and the spread isn't even that large. It's not like there's a ton of people in Europe investing in them. But when they do come in, what's going to be the number one card that people are going to want? A Messi true rookie card. Yes, the one he mentioned, that's not his absolute top one. But still, once again, I know they're very different markets. But when I think of what you can sell for $800, like in my collection, the basketball cards of just basically, to be honest, average players I could sell for $800 and put that into a Messi. I just think that's a buy all day. And once again, I'll reiterate it. I think the soccer card market is already heating up. You can see it towards the Euros, towards the World Cup. I really just think holding any soccer, it's a good time to have it. Next one from Cholo Loco. Thanks for the great vid. Very useful for us new in the hobby. I've been buying PJ Washington since the off season. Is the hype around Melo? Could it help the other Hornets players? So to answer your question, yes, I do think the hype around LaMelo, them just being on national TV more, it'll definitely get more attention on these other players. But once again, I would just be very cautious investing in these Prism rookies from this last draft class. Everyone is so fixated on them right now. Even players like PJ Washington, in my opinion, are relatively expensive. And that's because that they're basically what's newest and shiniest right now. But Hoops of this current draft class is coming out in, I believe, a week or two, and more products are going to be coming out after that. I think things are going to quickly shift over to this newest draft class, and people are going to forget about guys like PJ Washington. They're kind of going to be old news. That's not to say, sell every PJ Washington U card you have, or you can't buy him. There's no way he's going up. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I personally would be cautious because of the things I mentioned, and also because, as always, I really only like to invest in guys who have that star potential. And for me, I don't think PJ Washington has that. He's a good player. He'll be a solid NBA player. He'll be able to contribute, but I don't think he's ever going to be a star. So for that reason, I'm going to say sell. Next one from Amar Wilku, 2018 Topps Stadium Alfonzo Davies PSA 10. What do you think about that buy? So I actually like this kind of like weird, in a sense, cards, these different things that you don't see all the time. Obviously, I'm a big believer in Alfonzo Davies, but it's specifically his Optic rated rookie card. I mean, we're giving one of those away, so subtle plug once again, definitely go check that out. But for a lot of people, including myself, I mean, it's true, Alfonzo Davies was a rookie in the MLS. That's where he broke through. So there's definitely an argument could be made that his true rookie card should be that in his Vancouver Whitecaps jersey. And I think for a lot of people, especially Canadians or Americans or people just familiar with the MLS, that particular card will hold value for them, and it's a cool thing to have in your collection. I definitely feel that way. So relatively low pop. I'll have to check again, but I mean, you can get that card well under $100, even in graded condition on eBay right now. So for me, for everything I think Alfonzo Davies will end up meaning to the Canadian soccer community, Canadian soccer team, having him and his rookie jersey on a Canadian soccer team, that'd be a pretty cool card to own. So I'm gonna say buy. Next one from Jimmy Lopez. Could you talk about Darius Bailey? What's your prediction on his price down the road? So let me just start with saying I was wrong about Darius Bailey. He's come out of the gates looking really good. I did not think he was going to be putting up these kind of numbers and playing so well so early. I mean, it's kind of to be expected in a sense, he had a weird high school career. He didn't end up playing in college, and it was always going to take a little bit longer for him to put things together, but everyone knew he had as much potential as anyone in the draft. And now that he's getting opportunities at OKC to get shots up, to get playing time, he's having success. And that's great. And it still remains to be seen what he does down the road. But there's definitely reason to be excited. However, to answer your question, what's my price prediction for his prices down the road? Well, down the road, I mean, even just 2 years from now, not optimistic at all. Very much trending towards zero would be my prediction. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the way the hobby works. But for this season, that's kind of a tough one, because I think if he keeps up what he's been doing this season, people are going to be really excited about him and intrigued by his potential, as they should be. So I'll probably say hold on Bailey for right now, because I think, once again, as with all these rookies, I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep reiterating it, they're fighting a losing battle with, right now, they're the shiny new exciting thing, and very, very quickly it becomes someone else. But I do think if he continues to have a good season, the excitement around him can grow. So I'll say hold for this season, and let's see what he continues to do. Next one from the Dollar Box. Cool idea for a video. What is your take on buying Fati with Messi leaving? What do you think about buying Top Sapphire? So first of all, let me say, I hope Messi doesn't leave. I think it's definitely far from a done deal at this point. And I'm super biased on Barcelona. I'm a huge Barcelona fan, so I love Fati. And to be 100% transparent too, I have been scouring eBay for the past couple of weeks trying to get a nice Fati card. Haven't had any success yet, but I'm going to keep trying. But if I'm being 100% logical about it, I think he is a tad expensive at this point. I mean, even just for his contenders, obviously his Obsidian, Mega Cracks, all this stuff. I mean, the contenders in a PSA 9, I believe, is like $300. And if you want to get some of his nicer stuff, it's going to cost you $500 minimum for a PSA 9. That's an expensive price to pay for a rookie card of a soccer player who has been really good so far, but he's far from a finished product or 100% proven or someone who's locked in as a star for the next 10 years. It's tough for me because I love Fati so much, but I think people who are a little bit more proven but still young and exciting, like Mbappe, Haaland, if I'm looking at it purely logically, I think I would probably have to put my money in them. Unfortunately, Fati would not be the first young, exciting winger to come up and have success, show some potential, but then he doesn't turn into the superstar we kind of all pegged him out to be. I'm really hopeful on Fati. I obviously have my bias. I think in the soccer card market, there's some better opportunities out there right now. I mentioned Mbappe and Haaland. Obviously, Messi rookie cards, you can't go wrong. So for now, I'm going to say hold. It may end up actually costing me some money in the end, but I'll probably wait to see what he looks like when he comes back from injury, see a little bit more consistency. I think for me personally, I need to see it over a longer period of time before I fully dive in headfirst into buying his cards, but we'll see. I'm a hold for now. Next one from Paulo Martinez. Rui Hatchimura Prism, what you think? I actually got a lot of questions about Rui, so I had to make sure to answer this one. I don't want to beat a dead horse with all my Prism rookie talk, so I'll keep this one short. Once again, be very careful. The shiny new toy theory definitely applies here, and it's just tough for me because at least on Star Stock, a Rui Hatchimura Prism and a Star Stock A, which is Star Stock A, but it's still a raw card, is going for $90 right now. That is a lot of money for a raw Prism base card of a player who's good, but once again, doesn't really have that superstar potential. If you're asking my opinion, I think Rui Hatchimura is a good player. He'll be a good part of the rotation. He'll be a good contributor, but he's not a superstar. He's also a little older than most of the rookies, so you have to keep that in mind. Yes, the Asian market factor does play a part. You know, he's going to have more eyes on him from Asia and Japan, and rightly so. That has kind of increased his prices, but as far as a long-term hold and considering where his prices are at this moment in time, I'm going to have to say sell. Next one from Panama Cards. What do you think of Paul George's rookie cards? I think they're pretty underpriced. People forget just 2 years ago, Paul George was in the serious discussion for the MVP. I think the overreaction, the card market is full of overreactions. Seeing the Clippers exit early, him and Kawhi, their cards took a huge nosedive, losing like almost 50% of their value. I think both of them will rebound. I think around the playoffs, people are going to realize, wait a minute, why aren't we taking the Clippers more seriously as a contender? I mean, they still have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George at the end of the day. That's a really impressive roster. His Donruss PSA 10 went for under $300. National Treasures, yes, an expensive card, but a PSA 10 RPA of his went for $5,000, which in my opinion is actually not that much for that card. I'd just be surprised if we don't see Paul George climb a little bit at least closer to the playoffs. I think the Clippers in general, but yes, Paul George would be a buy right now. All right, last question from Aaron. Hey man, love the videos, Troy. I was wondering what you think about Marcus Rashford and which one of his cards do you recommend? I'm a big fan of Marcus Rashford. Obviously, everything he's done for his community is really impressive, but also as a soccer player, he's good. I mean, he plays for Manchester United. He plays for England. He's going to have a lot of eyes on him, a lot of attention. I think people kind of write him off or don't think of him having as much potential as some of these other guys because we've seen him for so long, but he's still a young player who has time to improve and, you know, to be fair, has proven himself and accomplished a good amount already. I think especially considering, you know, you asked what card I would go after, his 2016 selects are $20 each. At that price, I don't think you can really go wrong. Once again, I talk about people slowly coming into the soccer card market. I think Marcus Rashford, especially in England, would be one of those names that they gravitate to. And for the price that you can get his true rookie card, I just don't think you can really go wrong. But all right, guys, that's it for the video today. If you guys want to submit your questions for the next buy, sell, hold, definitely comment them down below. Hope you enjoyed, and we're going to keep the videos coming. Thanks again.